Or on your back today. And when you're on your back, just give yourself a nice little knee hugging. My legs are, I'm in pain again today. One of those days of pain. Yeah, my PT, nasty quad stuff. So pull the knees in and just give yourself a little rock around on that lower back. Enjoy the little massage. Move the legs where you need to, so you get right into the top of the buttock. Maybe little circular motions through the knees, whatever you want to do. Nice to do this for 20 to 30 seconds to begin with. Just happily do this for another 45 minutes or so, to be honest. And we're going to straighten our legs straight onto the ground. So full extension of the legs, a reach of the arm. I want you to turn your palms to the sky, stretch your fingers and reach the fingertips. Pull the toes in, slide the heels, get a full body stretch. Go straight into that Pilates, breathing, inhaling through the nose, opening out through the rib cage, and exhaling, sinking down. Little squeeze of the belly, starting to activate the transverse abdominals. So try and tuck that tailbone slightly, and then release it as you reach even further, straightening out through the elbows. Exhale, squeeze the lower back down towards the mat. Do that again. Draw it down to the mat. Your legs are going to stay straight. You're going to swing your arms up and over all the way down to the floor, down by your hips. Tuck your shoulder blades under slightly, then let your spine sink, and then squeeze the belly to try and close that lower back position. Bring one knee to tabletop, followed by the other. Okay, begin the warm up. Leg extension. One leg kicks forwards towards the floor. Point the toe, bring the knee back in. So push through the sole of the foot to lengthen the leg. Point the toe to drive the knee back in again. We just want to start to feel the tummy controlling the move. Perhaps it's your hip flexors and thighs a little bit. You don't want to feel it in the lower back. If you feel it in the lower back, just do a little toe tap for alternating sides instead. And we inhale to lengthen. We exhale to drive the knee in. Now we're going to go 6 more. That's 3 each side. Lengthen a little bit more. And as soon as we've done our last leg extension, we're simply going to pop the legs down to the floor. So pop the feet down. Immediately slide your fingertips to the side of the head. We inhale, chin to chest. We exhale, we do a simple crunch up. And we roll that down when we inhale. So now the focus is going into the upper abs. And I want you to continue to drive your hip bones very slightly up towards the sky. Rib cage working its way towards the hip bone. So you're folding those abs in half. You curl up. Elbows stay wide. Add to the load, but make sure you're just slightly supporting your head. And we're going to do 8 more of these. Every time you crunch, you've got a tiny opportunity to go that little bit further. Doing your last 5. Inhale, head down. Exhale, curl up. When we reach that last repetition, just do a crunch hold. So lift up, open the elbows, take a breath in, go that little bit further. Inhale, open the elbows, exhale, curl up a little bit more, hold it. Shooting go up a little bit more, 3, 2, and then just release it down. The elbows press to the floor. Then the arms go out, wide to T. The knees come back in again. We go straight into rotations. First of all, we just rock our knees over to the right, floating back to the middle, over to the left. So I don't mind, to begin with, if your heels are a little bit more tucked in towards your bottom. Because I want you to look at this as a spinal roll before we look at it as an abdominal exercise. So we're just encouraging that movement, turning your eyes the opposite direction to your knees, So we're really rotating through the neck as well. So we want to get in the full spine. Working the spine in all planes of motion today. See if you can drop the knees so they brush the floor as you work more and more into this rotation. So I've got my heels tucked in quite close towards my bottom at the moment. So I'm just going to lever them up a little bit and then work with a little bit more load on the legs, which then adds a little bit more to the rotation. And now your obliques going to start kicking in. Exhale as you drop. Squeeze the inhale back to center. Go 4 more of these. Enjoy that movement. Keep those shoulders pinned to the ground. You've got 2 more to go. And when you've done that last one, move the knees back to the center, pause in the middle, and then straighten those legs up to the sky. Straighten, point your toes. Inhale, left leg drops down towards the floor. Exhale, lift back up again. Swap into the other side, right leg lowers down. So here we're trying to keep the toes pointed and our knees as straight as possible, especially the one that's not moving. So this is going to kick in our abs a little bit more, warming them up even more. Now you can just stay like this and do 8 more, 4 more on each side, or you can do a switch kick. So it's dropping one leg and then switching for 8, switching for 7, switching for 6, 5. Straighten those knees. 3, 2, 1 more. Now when we extend that last leg, my right leg is in the air, left leg drops to the floor and lightly catch around the back of that right leg and just straighten the leg for me. Bend the elbows and drive that thigh towards you. Stem through the knee. Push your left leg firmly down into the ground. And then bend that knee, slide your hands around the front, just pull the thigh in towards your shoulder or into the chest and just stretch out through the hip flexor. Try and use a little bit more muscle to pull that thigh, tuck it in, go deeper in that stretch. Now we're going to keep hold of this leg and I want you to bend your left knee and pop that foot on the floor. Release the grip of that right knee, but keep it tucked in towards you. Take your arms down by your side and then really spread the toes on that left foot and then lift your hips up into a one-legged bridge. Now the exercise we're going to do is as we lower our hips, we're going to kick that right leg forward and then lift the hips up high and pull the knee back in. So we lower and lengthen, pushing through the sole of the foot and squeeze it back in as we lift the top of our bridge. If that's a little bit too tough at any point, you can drop the toe down as you lower your hips and then pick the knee up as you raise your hips. You've got a tiny bit of support, a tiny bit of weight going in that right leg. Or just carry on, kick it low, hover off the ground and power back up. You've got 5 more to do. So the knee pulls in as you lift the hips, the leg kicks forward as you lower the hips. That's it. So you've got to use lots of power in that left buttock, left thigh to control this. I've got 2 more left. One more.
I can't count and exercise.
And then keep that knee pulled in, roll out of your bridge. And then I want you to slide the ankle over that left knee. And just use your right hand to open the knee out, just to encourage a little bit of opening in the hip joint. And we're going to move back into the abs for a moment. You're going to do 5 repetitions and then 5 one-leg bridges. So the right hand's coming, no, the left hand's coming to the side of the head. You pick up the left knee, stay at a tabletop position, and we're going to curl in. 1, drop the head back down, the legs stay still. Curl over for 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, drop your head and shoulder to the floor, extend the left leg up, flex the foot, lower the leg halfway or 3/4 of the way down and pick it back up again. Flex your foot to lower, point the toe to lift. 5 times. Option is to do this with your knee bent. Okay, there you go, that's your easier option. 2 more. And when you've done that last one, lift it all the way up, pop the foot back down, arms down by your side, and then lift up into a one-legged bridge. We inhale, lower the buttock to the floor, exhale, squeeze and lift it back up. So we're still working this left glute. Squeeze, open that right knee, but don't drop the right hip. Hold that last one up into the air, big squeeze up, and then lift your heel. Tap your heel down for 1, lift it back up. Tap it down for 2, lift it back up. Keep those hips as high as possible. 2 more. Last one. And then roll it out. Slide the knee off, pop the foot onto the ground. Straighten your legs down onto the ground, lift your arms up and overhead, full body stretch again. Really reach, take the heels to the right corner of your mat. Once they've landed there, so make sure your butt stays behind, put your right heel over your left ankle. Then take your shoulders over to the right corner of the mat as well. Grab hold of your left wrist and come into a side bend, a banana stretch. And as you pull that arm, you want to feel the stretch down the sides of your rib cage. Park your left buttock into the floor, and full side stretch there. C-curve through the body. Use your exhale to encourage more opening. One more breath. Release, uncross the ankles. Heel walk over to the left side of your mat. Left heel over right ankle, then slide your shoulders over to the left, catch the right wrist, and lengthen out through that right side, pushing down into the right buttock. Enjoy that full C-curve. Exhale, pull the arms further. Two more deep breaths. Carefully release, walk back into the middle. Sometimes you think you've got into the middle and you're not, you're still on the side. So have a little look at your body position. Slide your shoulder blades under. Lift one knee to tabletop, followed by the other. And then open the arms out to T. We're going to drop our knees over to the right, left leg extends, keeping the thighs aligned, pushing through the sole of the foot, so squeeze the knees together, back into the middle, close those knees to tabletop, over to the left, and extend your right leg, fully lengthen. And to the center again, you got it? So it's slow, it's a pause on that length, and you're turning your head the opposite way. So a little bit more work on this time. Straighten that leg towards your left shoulder. Bend the knees together through the middle. On your next rotation, you're going to do 4 more each side. You can do a double leg if you wish, or stick to that top leg, that's fine. But I want you to make sure you bend through the center every time. And get your breathing right. We exhale, extend as you twist. Inhale slowly as we drive back to the middle again, turning your head the opposite way. Extend as the exhale. So it's a really slow moving breath exercise. Now I've got 1 more each side to do on this one. Now I want you to come back through to the middle, tuck the heels quite closely in towards your bottom, pull the thighs using your abs closer in towards your chest, and then pop them down to the right. So close in, side rotation and stretch, holding onto that top thigh quite tightly, and then twisting to the left shoulder. Deeper if you can. So that left arm sliding away, pull your upper left side of your body away from your lower part of your body. Release the thigh. Squeeze the knees in towards your chest as you roll through to the center. Hold them tight in towards you and just transition to the other side. And there goes my arm right up into the air. And then breathe into that right shoulder blade. Do more deep breaths here. Carefully releasing that top thigh. Keep the knees tucked in as we roll back into the center. Pause in the middle. And straighten those legs up to the sky. Toes pointed. We lower the right leg down towards the floor. And we exhale, lift it all the way back up, swapping to the other side. So remember, we're trying to keep the leg that's static as straight as it will go. Because it won't want to stay that way as you lower the opposite leg. And if you wish, you can do 8 more, or do a pause and a switch kick pause. When I say pause, about 2 seconds pausing, and then you switch past. Let's squeeze those lower abs a little bit more. Two more of these. Then lift the left leg up high, lower the right leg down to the floor, and catch that left thigh around the back. Just hold it to stretch the hamstring. So use the grip of your hands just below the knee to get that leg fully extended. Or if it's flexible, you can start your hands a little bit higher above the knee and work there. Every time you exhale, go straighter. Slide your right thigh close to the ground so that leg is pinned down. And then bend the knee, slide your hands over in front of the shin. Let's pull that knee towards the left shoulder or the left or into the center of your chest. And use quite a lot of arm force for this. And really press that right leg into the floor. Now I'm going to keep your left leg tucked in, but bend your right knee, hold your foot on the ground. Spread the toes, they're strong. Keep the knees in, but release your arms down by your side. And when you're ready, we're going to take a lovely long deep breath. And on the exhale, we're going to lift the hips up towards the sky. Find that strong balance on that right side. And we're going to push the left leg away as we lower our hips to the floor. And then pull the knee in as we lift high. We inhale down. We exhale, squeeze it in. Give me 4 more, make it strong. Really press and squeeze out. Remember your options to tap your toe lightly to the floor. Instead, you're going to lift the knee in as you lift your hip. And when you've done that last one, we lift the knee in and then we roll out. And once we've hit the ground, we slide the left ankle over the right knee. So we're going to leave our buttocks parked on the floor. We're going to take our hand behind our right hand behind the head. And we're just going to lift the right leg to tabletop. And we do a little twist. So 5 little twists. Really, really slow. When you've done your last one, head and shoulder come down, right leg extends, and we lower down and we lift up, taking the focus back into those lower abs. Flex the foot as you drop with the toe. Options to just do a toe tap with your knee bent, if that's better for you. And when you've done that last big fifth lift up to the air, you pop your foot back down. Take your arms down by your side. And take a breath in. Exhale, we lift our hips up to the sky. Hold there for a second. See if you can open your left knee to free the left hip a little bit more, but don't drop the hip bone. Squeeze up, and then we inhale, lower the buttocks to the floor, brush the ground, exhale, power up. So again, 5 of these. On the 5th repetition, we stay up in the air. I think we did 10 of this actually, so let's do 10. Added more. So your 10th one stays up in the air. Hold it up. And then lift the heel off the ground. For 1, tap the heel back down. Lift it back up for 2. Tap it down. And at the same time, we're still trying to get that elevation, those hips really high. Squeeze the buttocks a little bit more. 2 more. And on that last one, we carefully roll it out. And then remove the ankle from the knee. Take a breath or 2 here, just let your spine settle. Pull those knees back in towards your chest. Shoulders down away from the ears. Curl your chin towards your chest. Just lift into a little kind of little mini crunch. So you're kind of curling into a little ball. Slide your hands down the shins, open your knees out, catch your ankles all around the edges of your feet, push your heels to the floor, open those knees, and just get even more opening into the groin area. As you push your heels towards your buttocks need to park further into the ground, shoulders pull back. Try and get that spine pressed into the ground. Then bring the knees back together, slide your hands around the back of the thighs, roll yourself up to your seat. And then lengthen your legs out in front of you. So bend your knees, catch hold of your feet, lift your spine, come into a forward fold. Up again. So just lower the shoulders away from the ears, bend through the elbows, and just try and dive as low as you can go into that hamstring stretch. Take a couple more breaths here. And then as you release, just roll the spine back in. And then just do a little mini back extension by pushing your fingertips into the ground, lift your chest, pull your shoulders back, look up slightly. Just literally counter stretching from that flexion. And then we're going to swing around onto our hands and knees. So once you're here, it's always nice to start off in a cat-cow position. Just get back, just mobilize your spine, but from a different position. So shoulders back, bottoms up, head up, dip the back. Allow that extension to occur. So your vertebrae kind of moving closer and closer together. We take a long deep breath in, and we absolutely go opposite to that. We push our spine away. So the more you tuck your tailbone and dip your chin, the more your spine will flex. Scoop the belly in to create more space. And let's just do that one more time. Lower down, eye gaze up, bottom up, chin up, shoulders back, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Let the whole middle of your spine dip. And let's go the other way. Undulate, tailbone under, chin tucked, floor pushed away, spine beautifully turned. Take a deep breath in. And on the next exhale, we bring ourselves to neutral, tucking those toes under, keeping your knees bent, lift your bottoms up to the sky. So big bend in the knees, bottoms up as high as they will go. Spread your fingers, distribute the weight equally in both hands, extend the elbows, and then dive your chest between the shoulders, looking down towards your toes. Then you can extend your legs and perhaps walk through this position. The downward facing dog, heel walk, bending and extending. And do a couple more of those, and then pin those heels into the floor, making a beautiful triangle position. We inhale, take our eye gaze forward, exhale, roll through the plank, into plank, and then simply lift all the way back up again. Inhale, roll forward, shoulders just slightly in front of your wrist, exhale, pause, inhale, pick up the hips, and bring yourself back to downward facing dog. So do 5 of these. It's a really good opportunity to fix in the spine positioning, core positioning. We've got one more of these to do. Rolling forward. Pause on your plank. Just hold here. Squeeze the butt. Abs on. Beautiful straight line running through the body. Then you can tuck your tailbone under a little bit more. Hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and pop the knees down, take them wide, side back to child's pose, keeping those arms where they are, don't move them, and then just use that to resist as you drive your heels back, bottom back into your heels. We're going to turn this more into a moving plank. So I want you to slide up onto your knees. A moving plank, a moving exercise. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Step your left leg forward and sink. Bring your left arm onto your left thigh and just lift your right arm up to the sky. So we want to try and mobilize the shoulder extension, but sink your hip down. So you're doing like a mini back bend. Then that right arm is going to shift itself and grip hold of your left thigh. Tuck your tailbone under and then just lift up and just pause on this full lunge. Yeah, I can't do that. Slowly. You can bring your hands down, just think there, everyone. Just hold it, we're only here for 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the knee down. Bring your hands inside that foot. Tuck your toes under at the back. We're going to lift the knee, swing the leg back into plank. Pause. You right?
Yeah, just did it wrong.
So again, fix in, abs, buttocks, tailbone tucked, core strong. Now we're going to drop the knees down. We're going to walk the hands in, roll up, and step your right leg forward. So we're going to get a little bit more dynamic with this. We're just encouraging the movement first before we move a little bit more into it. Sink down into the hip, right hand on thigh, and lift the left arm. So we're going to that lovely back extension, shoulder extension, reaching up and feeling that sinking in the hips. And bring the left hand onto that left thigh, tuck your toes, options to lift up and hold, or bring your hands down inside that foot, stretch a little bit deeper. So lift the chest, squeeze that back leg, 4, 3, 2, and then lower the knee back down. Bring your hands inside that foot now. Lift the back knee when you're ready and slide the leg back behind. Plank. From there, we're going to simply swap side to side. So you're going to hold the plank and you're going to step left. We're going to open out. We're going to drop the hands, slide it back, to the right, open up. Drop it down. Switch sides. And just go in your own time, through your own breath. So just getting this nice mobilization to the shoulder joint, hip joint, working the core at the same time. 1 more each side. Up. Down. Swing it back. Drop the hips. Just briefly come back into child's pose. And whilst you're in that child's pose, I'm just going to show you what you're going to do. So we're going to do a similar moving exercise, but the leg position changes. So from a plank, you're going to take your right leg under and open up here. When you're ready, slide the right leg under and lift the hips up. Open that shoulder. Squeeze and push the hips as high as they'll go towards the ceiling. Hold it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, then turn, drop your hand, slide the leg out, pause in plank, take the left leg under, turn your right foot and reach. So if you squeeze that butt, you'll feel your hips lifting up and your obliques on that left side. Squeeze shoulder blade behind. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look down, slide the leg out and lift it down and up. Downward facing dog. That's one. Oh, speech is going already today. Taking a walk. You always have an option to rest for 5, 10 seconds if you wish. Otherwise, use this as your resting point. Take the heels down. This time we roll forward. We pull the left knee under to a hover, and then as we come back, we kick it up to the sky. So we roll forward, knee comes under for a hover, do 5 of these, and kick it straight up. The right leg stays straight the whole time. You just roll onto the tips of the toes, and you push back into the ball of the feet, trying to get that heel plant to the floor. So one more of these. And this time we come forward, we hover, and we hold, hold, hold. 8, 7, hips down, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and pigeon. So wriggle your left heel under your right hip. Find the stretch in the left buttock, and then drop down lower if you wish. Breathe. I'm starting some one-on-one sessions with the 168th best female golfer in the world tomorrow. She's at my local club. Pardon?
Your claim to fame.
My biggest claim to fame, actually, I used to train Olivia Coleman
All right.
before she was really famous. So before I moved to Dubai, so we're going back 25 years ago now. She was at the time had been doing that show, Peep Show.
Yeah.
And she was doing a film where she had to take off a lot of her clothes. She wanted to tone up. And the reason why I lost her as a client is because I left the country and moved to Dubai.
Right.
She said to me, "You can store all your stuff in my garage." And I wish I said yes, because she's changed all her personal details now, so I couldn't get in touch with her again. She probably wouldn't know who I am now, though, 25 years later. Anyway, she's now obviously mega famous, so
Yeah.
that's my claim to fame.
That'll do.
She's incredibly nice. Okay, bring yourself up onto your hands. And we're going to sit into that left butt cheek, and we're going to swing the right leg around. Now, this is where you might want to use your bands. We're going to stretch this right hamstring. So the first thing we're going to do, I think we did this last week actually, but if you know you're not going to be able to grab your foot with your left hand, grab a band and then use that with your left arm as your dominant arm. So grab hold, get a lovely extension of the spine before you do anything. Park your buttocks firmly into the ground and then fold down towards it. Well, you see, I'm starting to get more and more golfers because I work with a professional golfer already. He recommended me to her, but she's another level up from him. Then I've got an 84-year-old golfer, and I've got another golfer who's okay, who's recommended using another golfer. So golfing seems to be going down the route. Now I feel like I should play golf.
Yeah. You need to have something to talk to them about.
Well, maybe they need all the core for when they're doing the swing.
They do, they need mobility and core, but it's made me have to do a lot of research into golf. And then I thought maybe I should perhaps actually start getting lessons with one of my clients who we're doing exchange of business with, and actually maybe learn a little bit of golf so I understand the sport a bit more. Never interested me though in the slightest. You have to have time and patience, don't you? There's
A
two
lot of
things I
time.
don't have.
A lot of time.
Perhaps it's a good therapy for me. Okay, let's try and get that left elbow deeper down towards the floor. Now I'm going to roll out of it carefully. careful with your lower back, 'cause that can be quite strong on your lower back. And let's take it into a little C curve again. So we've already done a little C curve on the floor, totally different way of doing it. Wedge the arm, lift up tall. This arm, first of all, opens out. So let's open out through the chest first. Then reach the arm. And if that's a strong enough bend for you, just stay there and work on the extension of the arm and the turn of the chest. Or you can go further, but just try and keep your left buttock parked on the floor. And just turn. So what the aim here is really about working on this shoulder joint, stretching over across the ear, so reach the palm towards the toes there, and then twist. It's a really nice lower back stretch. You getting it in the lower back?
Down here.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Danny?
bring it down the side.
Exactly it. Rib cage, lats, our tight little areas.
Yeah, that's fine.
Release the arm carefully. And just bring yourself back up to the top. This leg is going to swing around right where it started. Hands on the floor and just slide your knees back. And then when you're ready, touch your toes and let's go back up, down, facing dog. Oh, got my knees. Downward facing dog if you can. So nice deep knee bend first, so you can work on the spine, the chest, the knee down, and then you can work on walking through those legs one by one. If you haven't just destroyed your knee joint. Lovely long deep breaths, pushing down. Then park both your heels to the floor. We're going to raise, no, I'm not going to raise the right leg. We're going to roll forward first. So as you roll forward, you're going to pull the right knee through to a hover. Don't go far through this. And then kick it back up to the sky. Keeping your left leg dead straight. Rolling onto the tips of the toes into that plank. Squeeze through the belly. And kick it up high. Forward 3. I want you to get that full stretch into the left calf as you bring that right leg up to the sky. Right, you've got one more to do, and this one is in a hover. So come forward, squeeze and hold. 8, 7, lengthen that left leg. Come on, last 3, 2, and 1 into pigeon. So we bring the right heel underneath your left hip. You lift up tall first. And then find your stretch as you sink down. Let the shoulders go.
The other side.
Yeah, tell me about it. Use this, just ease stress just now. Let everything go. Breathe deep into that right hip. I quite like to move slightly sideways in and out of this stretch because it's really uncomfortable for me, so it helps me just ease into it. Give it a couple more breaths or so there. Just bring yourself back up onto your hands. And then we fall gently to that right buttock, swinging that left leg out to the side. So bands there if you need to use it. So we turn towards the left leg, bend the knee, touch the foot. And then always lengthen the spine before we do anything. Keeping the right buttock fixed into the floor. You bend the right elbow and we drop down into that hamstring stretch. bending, driving. Then if you do your hold with your other hand, so your right arm is the dominant arm here, then you get stretched into the lower back, that's it. 3 more breaths, let's go deep as we can go. Come on, drive your chest to that side. When you're ready, carefully release. Always move slowly out of a stretch like this, especially where your spine is involved. It needs to reset itself. Come back to the center, bend this leg. Left arm goes. There's your wedge, there's your starting point. Then you are able to lift, open the chest, squeezing that shoulder blade first. So just feel that lovely stretch and opening there. Then you can bring that arm up over the ear, reaching full extension, as if you're reaching your fingertips towards your toes on that left side. The arm is overhead. Then if you want to go further, you slide the leg away, but your arm goes with it. But you just don't want to lift the buttock off the floor. And then focus on the rotation towards the sky, the reach of the arm. Ooh, that's nasty on this side.
Yeah.
Keep turning, keep reaching, straighten that arm across the ear. Come on, get the arm lower. Can you get the arm lower towards your toes? Bring it down.
All by bending the elbow, yeah.
Without bending it. That's as far as your arm goes.
Because this is
So that's so tight.
that's so tight.
Interesting. Keep turning, keep reaching. 3 deep breaths. And then we carefully release the arm back up. And again, slowly backing out of that. When you're ready, we take that leg back. Tucking the toes under. And then lifting to downward facing dog. So bend knees, melt the head and chest, feel nice and easy this time. And then plant those heels into the ground, lifting the tailbone, the point of the triangle. Roll forward to plank. Now we just need to get a bit of a stretch into the front of the quads. So we're just going to hold the plank here. Options obviously drop down to your knees if you need to, that's fine. Got a 20-second hold from here. So tuck the belly in, squeeze the butt, strong on those arms, slightly soften the elbows, sink back into your heels. 10 more seconds, push the floor away slightly. Take 1 more breath, and then we're going to lower the knees to the ground. We're going to gently drop all the way down to the floor, and we're going to take this into a quad stretch. You can take it as far as you want. So we're going to bend the left heel in towards the bottom, catch around the ankle of the foot. Pull the knees together. Drive your heel towards your bottom. At the same time, push that left hip down into the ground, as if you're lifting the top part, sorry, the bottom part of your thigh off the ground by the knee. And options do what Lenny's doing, which is on the side. If you're on the side, close the knees together. You can stay here, or you can reach the leg and the opposite leg and arm up. You can push the floor away and lift that thigh up. Or you might want to stay in stretch and breathe. 10 seconds, wherever you are. Push that up into your hand. And then release it off. Take a little hip wriggle. So then you can turn to the other side now. Switch sides, right heel to butt. Catch it. Before we do anything, close the knees together. Push the right hip into the floor. Feel that lovely stretch down the quad. Oh, my quads are fired. Option now is to lift the left leg and hover. Left arm, push the foot into the hands and lift the thigh. And pause here and breathe. We can stay and stretch. Two more breaths. Wherever you are, keep working deep into the stretch. And then carefully, when you're ready, release that back leg. Make a pillow of the hands, turn your head to the left, and take a little wriggle in the hips. And just be heavy in the ground. Totally heavy in the ground. Your feet on the floor, remove your hands, interlace them equally behind the base of the spine. This time we're lifting the chest, putting the shoulders back, extending our arms down our butt cheeks, and then lifting the arms up away from the back. Get your chest up as high as it will go and breathe. Like that. Stay here. Try and get your hands away from your buttocks as much as you can. Lift the chest, hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. This time bring the hands back around, turn your head to the right and relax. And we carefully transition to our last child's pose. Lift it up. You can take it as wide or as narrow as you wish, whatever's comfortable for you. The arms this time just relax and we just bow down. 20 to 30 seconds just to enjoy this position. I'm glad I did this today. Look, I've benefited from doing this. Couple more breaths there. So all we do is just slowly transition out, close the knees up, tuck those toes, and we do that walk into hands or hands to feet, wherever you want to go, and just come into relaxing forward folds. Whether you want to bend your knees, you can. Let spine relax. After a couple of breaths, you just let the arms hang, and we do the spinal roll up, always slowly. Also, you get a head rush if you go too fast, so the chin comes up last. We always end by resetting the shoulders at the top, which is a few spinal rolls. Sorry, a few shoulder rolls. And then you find your kind of neutral spine. And we simply open up the arms. We bring our hands together. Always bow yourself. Always clap yourself. My little group today. Thank you.
Oh.